Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all well wherever you are and whatever you're up to. I'm Lauren, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you all of the new fabric arrivals that have come to the shop over the past couple of weeks. So I normally do one of these videos at the end of every month, but December was kind of like a month off. We were sort of taking a bit of a break here at G&G over Christmas, so it was actually November would have been the last time that I did one of these videos. So quite a lot of new stuff has come in since then. So I'm not going to cover absolutely everything that's new. I'll do the things that have come in this year basically, which is quite a lot of new stuff, and a lot of it sort of looking ahead towards the spring as well. So lots of lovely fresh fabrics to show you. Just remember, all of the fabrics that we get new into the shop are always in the just arrived section of the website, and they stay there for about 3 weeks or so. So that's always the best place to check to see everything new. Sometimes things do come in and they sell out quite quickly. The past couple of weeks, and then a few weeks in the lead up to Christmas as well, I have been doing weekly Instagram live videos as well on Friday nights at 8 o'clock, and I quite often show new fabrics that we've had in that week too. So if you're on Instagram then and you want to tune in on a Friday night, if there's nothing else to watch on TV, then you can see the new fabric arrivals that way as well. But I'm going to continue to keep doing these monthly videos because I think it's just a nice way to sort of round it up, and I know the YouTube videos do reach people who are maybe not using Instagram as much or using Instagram at all. So let's get started. As you can see, you've got a few things kind of in the foreground of me here, and I'm going to try and kind of group the fabrics together so that it's not sort of too random in terms of I'm jumping about from one type of fabric to the other. The majority of what I've got to show you tonight is woven fabrics. Quite often I have a lot of stretch to show you, but I do have a lot of wovens tonight to show you. So I shall try and give you as many pattern and sort of garment suggestions as I can as I'm going along, but you can always send me a message as well if there's anything in particular, or you've got a pattern in mind and you want to sort of check if a fabric's right for it, whatever. So we have had a few new additions to our designer collection from Atelier Brunette and Engletine and Zoe, that are both French brands, and they just have such a lovely sort of design aesthetic. The colour palettes are always really beautiful as well. So we've had all of the new Atelier Brunette collection in. I would say this is quite a summery print, and the prints of it are quite kind of different for them, but I really like them. Of course, the colour palette's gorgeous as well. So this one here comes in quite a few different colourways, so I'll show you that in the close-up video. But this particular fabric is 100% viscose, and it's a plain weave fabric, so it's quite lightweight, and when I hold up a little bit here, then you'll be able to sort of see the beautiful drape and movement that it's got as well. I would say that it's pretty opaque, like you can't really see your hand through it, so it does mean that it's going to be really versatile. So tops, blouses, dresses are all going to be good for that. Anything with gathers, I say, is always really good for viscose fabrics. So yes, some lovely colourways in that one, and then also a viscose fabric but just a slightly different texture to it is this seed print here. I think this is my favourite one. So it is 100% viscose too, but when you look closely at the texture of it, it's almost got a bit of a sort of crepey type texture to it. It's not like the plain weave of the viscose before, but when I hold this little bit up, then you will see again it just swishes around and looks absolutely beautiful. Like Megan Nielsen Sudley would look good in this, the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo, because they both got really beautiful gathers. The Merchant and Mills Florence top is another one, or there's a dress version of that too. Would all look lovely in this fabric. So 3 gorgeous colours of this one too, although I think I like this one the best. This one's the Night Viscose, so it's like a very sort of dark blue kind of colourway. And then this next fabric is a cotton fabric. It's a cotton gauze, so it's got quite a sort of, it's got like a looser weave to it, I would say, than a lawn. It's not as tightly woven as that, but it's still lovely and lightweight, and it would work really well for projects where you want it to take a crease really nicely. So a shirt or a blouse, so it could even be like the shirt I'm wearing just now. This is the Green Line Archer, or the Avid Seamstress blouse pattern as well. It's going to be easy to work with for that sort of garment, because it will press really beautifully, but still be sort of really lightweight and just really lovely to wear. So that one also coming in a few different colourways. And then from the Eglantine and Zoe range, we've had a few colourways of prints that we have had before. So this one here is the Terracotta colourway, and this is a beautiful sort of like very kind of sketchy sort of leaves and maybe kind of almost a bit like sort of abstract flowery type print on it. And when you look closely at the weave of that, can you see the sort of diagonal texture of that fabric? So this is 100% viscose too, but it's a viscose twill, so it means that it's just a bit heavier. It's got a little bit more sort of weight to it, so it would definitely be good for dresses or skirts or jumpsuits or sort of lightweight trousers. That kind of thing would all look really nice in this one, as well as tops and blouses too. So the viscose twills, because they are a little bit more heavier, then it does just make them that little bit more versatile. So yeah, that one does also come in a sort of bluey colourway with lovely pink accents on it too. But yeah, that one is a brand new colourway for us. And then also two new colourways of the really popular viscose twill checked, metallic checked one. So we've got this gorgeous kind of like sort of olivey green, like a kind of khaki green. It's so soft, it feels absolutely amazing. And then that metallic-y thread in it is just lovely, catches the light beautifully. So that lovely sort of greeny one, and then also I think this is my favourite one. Those of you that know me will know I love pretty much anything that's pink, is this lovely sort of light pink colourway of it too. Absolutely gorgeous. I think that would make, if I was going to make something out of this one in particular, I don't know, maybe a closet core Cali shirt, I think it would look really beautiful in that. So yeah, they are the Eglantine and Zoe ones, but we do have loads of fabric from their range, so you can always check out if you like the sort of aesthetic of that, those designs, then you can check out all the other prints that we have from their collections as well on the website. Then behind me on rolls, we've got some other viscose prints that are from a supplier who sources fabric that's like surplus to the garment manufacturing industry. So quite often they sort of get called dead stock type fabrics. So they're the ones that are on the rolls behind me here. So we've got two colourways of this print here, which is very sort of retro. We've called it Deco Fans, but I don't know, there's something that's given me like an 80s vibe about this fabric. It's got this really kind of like graphic sort of print on it. Beautiful drape again. It's just a plain weave viscose, this one. And it's opaque as well. I don't think you can see through that at all. Very, very lightweight, very, very flouncy, and would make something very, very swishy. So we've got that lovely blue colourway. It's really bright and fresh. And then we've also got it in a green colourway too, that's got lovely orange and navy blue accents too. It's a really fun fabric. Then we've also got this one here, which is interesting because it is a plain weave viscose, but the texture on it is lovely because it's almost like it's sort of slubbed a little bit. So it looks almost a bit like linen, you know, it's got that sort of natural kind of earthy texture of linen, but it is viscose, so it's got that amazing drape to it. So if I open it out so that you can sort of get an idea of the scale of the print, it's quite a large scale print, this one. So I think that would look really good as like a maxi dress or a maxi skirt. I've made a maxi dress version of the Megan Nielsen Sudley before, and I think it would work really nicely in that. Large scale prints tend to work on sort of bigger areas of fabric. So that lovely kind of corally, kind of pinky berry colours in it in this one, and then the other colourway of it is sort of cooler colours. So there's some really nice greens in that, and then it's offset on that lovely sort of off-white background. So I've opened this one out as well. I'll show you it close up, but sometimes it makes a difference to sort of see it on a larger scale as well, next to a head, to give you some context. So yeah, it's just a really lovely, nice, fresh, summery, spring-like fabric. Then also on the roll behind me here is another colourway of a fabric that we have had in for a while. I'll show you a close-up of that one too, but we finally got the other colourway in. It's proved really popular already. It's almost like sort of kind of like little paint splodges on it. We've called it paint speck, but it does kind of look quite splodgy. So it's got a black classic black background, and then it's got these lovely sort of orangey and kind of soft tealy kind of sagey colour spots on it. So I think that would be gorgeous for a little top or a blouse. It's really nice. A plain weave viscose as well, and it's not opaque, you can't see through it or anything, so really lovely, that one. Then the final two sort of plain weave viscoses that we've got are these ones over here. So this one is white with little black hearts on it, which is really, really lovely and fun. I'll open a bit of that out so you can see. So the hearts are sort of just like randomly kind of floating and splashing around. This one's probably slightly more see-through, like you can kind of see my hand through it. So I would say if you were making a dress with it, you'd probably want to line it just with some of our plain weave viscose fabric that we've got. But if you were making a top or a blouse, then you wouldn't need to line it at all. I think it would be fine. But yeah, it's lovely and soft and silky. You can see it's nice and floppy and got that gorgeous drape as well. And then the other one is almost like a bit of a trick of the eye, because I think it looks a bit like a chambray or a denim. It's got that really lovely classic blue denim colour to it, but it is the softest, silkiest, floatiest viscose ever. It's gorgeous. And you can see when I open it out here, kind of shimmy it around a little bit, it just lovely. It just has such a perfect swish to it. So it's got little white stars on it that are just kind of floating around. They're not in any sort of order or anything, and yeah, it does just feel so soft. So again, lovely tops and blouses would be perfect for that one. If you haven't really worked with viscose much before and you're quite new to dressmaking, there are some things that you can do to kind of just make it a bit easier, or some tips just to kind of get to grips with it really, because there are some things that you have to just sort of do slightly differently to control it, because it does move around so much. But I do have a video that is all about slippery fabrics and sort of how to use them, what to do with them and that kind of thing. So I'll link to that video in the description to this one, and then you can check that out if you're interested in using these types of fabrics but you've not had much experience with them before. Then the next fabric that I've got to show you is quite unusual. It is this one here, and we have called it linear laser florals because it's almost like it's sort of laser cut. It's a really unusual fabric. When I show you up close, you'll see what I mean. So it is a mixture of viscose and polyester, and if I open it out so that you can sort of see it in its full glory, so it is kind of transparent. Like, you're going to have to line this depending on what you're making. You could either line it with a lightweight cotton voile or cotton lawn, which would just help to give it a little bit more structure. Or if you did want to keep as much floatiness as possible in the garment, then you could line it with just a plain weave viscose fabric. But it's got this lovely sort of like floral print on it, but then almost these kind of linear cut out sections that have then, it's almost like a very fine kind of mesh or something. It's quite hard to describe, but hopefully you get an idea of what it's like. It feels like it's sort of raised as well. So where those lines are, when you run your finger over it, it does feel like it's kind of raised a little bit. Obviously, because it's got the viscose element to it, it is nice and lightweight. It does have that floatiness to it as well. So I think this would make a gorgeous dress, something that would be like a little bit fancier. I mean, I'm not sure how many people have actually going to have many weddings to go to this year, but if you did have some sort of fancy event to go to later in the year, then this would be lovely to make a nice dress, or like a skirt with a kind of plain top would look nice as well. So that is that one. Then I have also got a couple of linen fabrics that are over here. Actually, they're linen and viscose together, so you can see in the close-up videos that they've got that lovely sort of natural linen-y kind of feel to them, very sort of organic, and that sort of natural tone and colour to the fabric in the background, with then this lovely sort of abstract print on it. So this one's called Cool Toned Geo Landscape, and I love the colours in it. It's gorgeous, sort of nice soft blues, greens, and then quite a strong kind of navy colour as well. So when I hold a bit of it out, you can see that it does have that lovely sort of swishiness, but because it does have the linen, then it does have that sort of bit more structure to it as well. So this would be really nice for dresses or skirts, something that sort of has a little bit more structure to it. I think it's actually be really nice as like a lightweight sort of jacket as well, like the Deer and Doe Nenefar jacket that's got those sort of wide sleeves. It's quite loose and sort of floaty. I think something like that would be really nice for it as well. So yeah, I think this is probably my favourite colourway, but then it does come in a sort of warmer toned colourway as well. So this one here has got these gorgeous kind of oranges and mustard, again with the, I'm pretty sure that's navy, that darker sort of colour there. Could be construed depending on what light you're in, but yeah, I think that's a really lovely colour combination in that one too, and it just feels really nice. You can tell it's got a really nice sort of weighty kind of handle to it, but still got that lovely gorgeous drape. So yeah, viscose linen for those two. And then the next sort of group of ones that I've got to show you, I've got a few more viscose linens, and then I'm kind of moving on to more sort of cottony ones after that. So this one in front of me here, it's a viscose linen as well. It's got 70% viscose and 30% linen, so it's going to be sort of more swishy than it is structured because it's got more viscose in it. And it's a chambray in that one of the threads weaving it is white and the other one is blue, which gives it that lovely sort of depth of bluey colour and a real sort of natural feel to it, and then you can see that fine pinstripe going through it as well. It feels lovely, it's beautiful. You can see it's got really nice sort of handle to it as well, so this is going to be good for anything from simple tops, you know, like the Tilly and the Buttons Stevie tunic, or the Merchant and Mills patterns would work really nicely in that because that's their sort of aesthetic. Or you could even make a more of a sort of structured blouse to it, or a shirt as well. It would look really nice. So that's that one. And then I love this one. We should be getting more colourways of this one. I can't remember exactly what they are again, but we don't often get a fabric in just one colour. Usually we would try to get like a little sort of range to go together, but this one's come in just now anyway, so I thought I'd show it to you. It's a lovely bright orange colourway. It's 100% cotton, and it's got almost like a sort of cheeseclothy weave to it, so you can tell that the threads have woven it are just a bit sort of thicker, a bit more irregular, which gives this really lovely depth and texture to the fabric. And then these spots that are on it have been embroidered on, and it's just beautiful. It's got a really lovely sort of earthy feel to it, pretty lightweight, so I think it would be good for nice simple tops. You could make a dress with it as well. I would probably say, just depending on the style of the dress, you might feel like you want to line it. I would just say line it with a plain cotton voile or cotton lawn. That would be fine with that. So yeah, orange just now, but hopefully more colours to come before too long. And then this one, just quite a classic, again got sort of denim-y vibe to it, but it is 100% cotton. It's more of a kind of medium weight cotton, so I would say it's better for garments that do need something with a little bit more structure. The Nina Lee Carnaby dress is a dress that sort of requires fabric that has a little bit more structure to it, so this would be good for that sort of thing. And then it's got this nice little heart print all over it, so yeah, just a little sort of cute fun fabric, but would also be, it would press really well, so nice for garments where it's maybe got like pleats or tucks or a button band or something where you want nice crisp lines pressed in your fabric. And then the next one that we've got, which again is 100% cotton, we have had this fabric before in various other colourways. This got a more of a sort of monochrome vibe to it, so it's a pretty lightweight cotton is the sort of base fabric. I would say it feels kind of like a cotton lawn really, so it's quite tightly woven but it's very lightweight. And then this beautiful embroidery on it is this really nice leaf design, and it's in sort of dark kind of charcoaly sort of greys, a lighter grey, there's a white, and then a lovely kind of beigey colour as well. So it's stunning, it's gorgeous. And I would say that depending on what you're making with this, if it was just a top or a blouse, then you might get away without lining it, maybe if you has a little vest top on underneath, or if you were making a dress, it would look stunning as like a kind of sundress. I would say just line it with plain cotton voile, and it would just give the fabric a little bit more body and sort of fill in those little cutouts that are in the fabric as well. So another gorgeous one if you're kind of thinking ahead to things that are a little bit more summery. And then the next one that we've got, again, this is a viscose mix, so it's viscose and cotton, this one, and it's got this lovely sort of large scale kind of gingham check to it. When you look really closely at the check, it's almost got like a kind of herringbone texture to it. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love this one. I've actually kept a little bit of this one to the side for myself, and I'm going to make either the Grain Line Willow top or the Helen's Closet Ashton top, which is just like a really simple sort of rounded neck kind of A-line top. I think I just wanted to sort of show off the large scaleness of the check, just make something simple with it and not give myself too much pattern matching to do after making this, which was like a pattern matching nightmare. So yeah, that's another really lovely one. It's a really nice shade of blue as well, one of my current faves. And then this next one, it is a viscose mix as well, but it's viscose and 65 viscose, 30 linen and 5% polyester. And then it's got this gorgeous metallic-y thread running through it as well. So again, beautiful natural sort of texture and feel to the fabric with that linen component, and then yeah, really nice shades of colours and the stripes. Very lightweight, very sort of floaty and bouncy. It is probably a little bit see-through, so again, tops and blouses I think you'd probably get away without lining it. If you were feeling uncomfortable, just wear a vest top underneath, but if you did make a dress with it and it would make a beautiful dress, again like a kind of sundress style vibe would be nice, then I would just line it with plain cotton voile or cotton lawn. And that one comes in two colourways, so there's that one that's sort of like darker tones, and then I think the other colourway is probably my favourite actually. I love this one. It's a bit more sort of pastel and peachy. It's a bit more like my normal colour palette that I wear. It's lovely. I really love that one. It's almost like a rose gold metallic thread that's in it as well. It's beautiful, catches the light really nicely. And then we've got a few other linen-y ones. We've got a very sort of lightweight linen in a few different colours. We've got a lovely burnt orangey sort of colour, a white colour, and or sort of off-white colour, and then this lovely kind of sky blue colour as well. So if I open a bit of that out to show you, so that's 100% linen, but it is pretty lightweight. Quite often 100% linen is a bit thicker than this, but this is definitely much lighter weight, so just bear that in mind if you're used to buying linen that's a bit thicker. But yeah, it's just lovely, just a nice classic plain linen fabric. And then the other one's a bit more unusual, so it is a mix of fibres, and it is a tencel and a linen blend. So tencel's very similar to viscose or rayon, but it's just the way in which it's manufactured is a little bit different, which is why it's got that different name. But in terms of the properties that it has, it's very similar. So it's got really lovely drape, it's very soft, very floaty, and then this fabric is just gorgeous because it's got that lovely sort of earthy natural texture with the linen fibres too. It's almost sort of slubbed a little bit. I think it looks quite silky, this fabric. It's got this almost sort of sheen to it, and hopefully you can see that just catching the light. It's very beautiful. So this is a lovely sort of peachy, kind of light corally kind of colour, sort of orangey a little bit as well. I guess it would depend what light you were looking at it in, but it's beautiful. It feels lovely. And then we've also got it in a sort of classic kind of ivory off-white colour as well, which is beautiful. So it's just a bit more of an unusual linen mix fabric, because quite often you don't really see tencel and linen together. I've not come across it that often anyway. But yeah, it's just really lovely, like a nice simple top, and that with a bit more of a kind of striking skirt would look lovely, making me think of being on the beach or something if we ever get back there. I mean, I live in Birmingham, which is completely landlocked, so who knows when I'll ever see the coast again, but we can always dream. That's what the good thing about sewing and making your own clothes is. You can just decide what you want to make and let it take you somewhere. Okay, so then the last sort of few more kind of like springy, summery, kind of lighter, brighter fabrics that I've got to show you are all cottons, and they've all got a really sort of different lovely kind of texture to them. So it's like they're plain white fabrics, but then just got something that's a little bit different. So this one here, which I think we've possibly had in before, something very similar to it, has got this really lovely circle where it almost looks a bit like Aida fabric or like cross stitch fabric, kind of different sort of weave, and it just gives a really nice texture to it. So although it is just plain white fabric, it's just, yeah, just got a little bit of something different to it. It's pretty lightweight. I think it would be good for just a nice classic white shirt, white blouse, white top. Again, you might want to maybe wear like a vest top underneath it or something, depending on what style of thing that you were making. And then this other one has got a really lovely texture woven into it as well, so you can kind of see it's like little sort of squares and just makes up that sort of regular design and pattern and texture in it. It's beautiful, quite lightweight as well. Again, you can sort of see my hand through it fairly easily, so just depending on what you're making, you might want to line it with just a plain cotton voile or just wear another layer underneath it. And then this final one here, which again is just white but got this extra sort of detail to it. This is like actual embroidery on top of it, as opposed to like a change in the texture of the weave. So it's little sort of oval circles that it's got, that's kind of connected with these little strings, which just gives an all over design and pattern to it. That embroidery on it does make it like a little bit sort of more weighty, probably have a little bit more structure to it, but it feels lovely and soft as well. It's gorgeous. Quite often with these type of fabrics, you might get that the backing fabric is cotton, but then the embroidery on top can quite often be polyester, and usually the way you can tell is if the embroidery on top has got a sort of sheen or it looks sort of shiny, then you usually know it's polyester. But this one's cotton because it's got a bit more of a sort of matte finish to it, which is what I prefer. So yeah, they're all the sort of, that's the final kind of lighter weight sort of woven ones I've got. Then we have had 2 new colourways of our popular stretch cord fabric that are just a bit lighter and brighter for spring. So this one here is a gorgeous light blue sort of colour, that you can see that the thickness of the cord is sort of fairly chunky, but not like super chunky, and then it does have a bit of stretch to it as well. So it's cotton and elastane. This one has got 3% elastane, so it does have a little bit of a stretch. So just bear that in mind depending on what you're making. It would make a gorgeous pair of trousers. So ideally you would want to pick a pattern that does call for fabric that is good to have a little bit of stretch, but you could use a trouser pattern that says it's for non-stretch. You're probably just then going to have to size down because the fabric stretches around it. Leslie, who works here, has used another colourway of the same fabric to make the True Bias Lander pants, and she just had to size down, but they still look really, really nice. There's the Tilly and the buttons. I think it's the Jenna trousers that are sort of like wider flares. That would look really cool in this fabric. It's lovely. So yeah, that sort of lighter blue colour, and then we've also had a gorgeous light green colour. It's a lovely sort of minty green colour. I really love this one as well. Or just like a little skirt would look nice in this too, or a little pinafore, or maybe some dungarees if you fancied it. Then I do have a couple of stretch ones to show you. We are expecting loads of more new stretch fabrics in, so do stay tuned. And if you've been looking on our website and you see lots of things being out of stock, we've got so much on order, but we're just finding it a little bit slower and a bit more unpredictable as to when things arrive, given that we're now officially out of Europe, unfortunately. And it's just, I think the transportation of goods coming into the UK is just, on a bit of a rocky road right now. So if there is something online that you are seeing is out of stock and you would like it, please do just email us, and then we can email you back and let you know when it's in stock again. But I wanted to show you this fabric here, which is just a bit kind of fun and novelty really, and I'm sure if I didn't have a 4-year-old daughter, I would have probably not really bought this fabric for the shop, but I knew she would just go nuts for it and love it, so I just got it. So it is a lovely sort of lighter weight sweatshirt fabric. It's got this gorgeous soft fleecy back to it, a lovely navy base, and then it's got these fun unicorns printed on it with little bits of glitter. I mean, what more could you want, especially if you're a 4-year-old girl? So it's going to be good for any of your jumper patterns. And then we do have some really nice kids patterns as well. The poppy and jazz patterns would be perfect for this sort of thing. Strawberry sweatshirt would be good, or the little cardigan. I can't remember what that's called now. It's maybe the maple. would be good for that too. So yeah, just a little bit of fun in the sweatshirting department. And then I wanted to show you this one, because we do still, it's not brand new, but it's certainly new since I did one of these videos. And we've got a couple of colours in stock at the moment. So we've got this green one, and we've also got a sort of orangey pumpkin one in stock, but we will be getting more colours of it back in again soon. We had a sort of bluey one, a darker bluey sort of navy one, and then a lighter blue as well, but it's got this lovely fun kind of speckly sparkle running through it. It's a bit more of sort of thicker, heavier weight sweatshirting. You can see it's got this gorgeous soft back, and it just feels really lovely. Not as much stretch in this one, not got a huge amount of stretch, so still suitable for your jumper patterns, but it might just be that for your neck bands and your cuffs you might have to lengthen the pattern pieces a little bit, depending on the pattern and the style of the garment. On the topic of jumpers and hembands and cuff bands and that sort of thing, we have had such a big selection of cuffings come into stock. So I've got a little bit of a selection here just to show you, but we do have loads more online, and again there'll be something that will be restocking, so if any are out of stock, just let us know, we'll let you know when it's back again. But this stuff here is great. So you use it for the hem bands on your jumpers at the sleeves and then along the bottom as well, and you can use it around the neck band as well. You could either double it over like that and then trim it down to get whatever depth you wanted for your neck band, or you could just trim it and use it like a single layer as well if you wanted to. So we've got plain ones, like that's just a plain white one. These two are brand new, they've just come in this past week or so. That's a lovely sort of lighter blue colour. This one's really interesting because it's got a sort of fluted ruffle edge to it. So the top edge of it is kind of glittery, but then you can see when I open some out, it just sort of like fans out a little bit. It's almost like a little bit of a subtle frill. So yeah, just something a bit different, and that comes in a few different colourways too. And then we've got this one with a nice bright colour and then 3 gold stripes. We've got loads of different colours of that one, which is really lovely too, but they're just really fun. So what I've tried to do is just go through as many of the cuffs that we've got and coordinate them with sweatshirting fabric that we've got. It's not always an exact colour match, but I've tried to pick out ones that tone in nicely, or you could just go for like a really fun contrast. So we've got some of rainbow cuffings, and you've just got like a plate, maybe like one of the plain blue cozy colour sweatshirtings, then it might just be a bit fun to have some rainbow cuffs. And what is on my agenda for an upcoming YouTube video very soon, hopefully at some point in February, is I'm going to do a video just about the cuffing, so how to use it and where to use it, and yeah, what it's like to use basically, and the patterns that you can use it for. So if you like the look of them but you're not quite feeling confident to give them a go, then hold out for that video, and yeah, that will give you everything you need to know about using these cuffings. Then the final 2 fabrics that I've got to show you are from Millerain. So they are our waxed cotton canvas fabrics that we've previously stocked various plain colours of, so they're perfect for garments like the Closet Core patterns Kelly Anorak, or the paper cut patterns Waver jacket. I've used the fabrics to make both of those garments before, but any sort of like lightweight kind of jacket pattern would work. The Pauline Alice one would be good, or like the Friday Pattern Company Ilford, so anything that's a sort of lighter weight jacket that would be good. So we've managed to restock the navy and the khaki. Unfortunately the other colours aren't sort of in the manufacturing process at the moment, but as soon as they are making them again, then we are going to be getting them back, but we're just not entirely sure when yet. But I got 2 really cool checked ones which I think are amazing and fun. So this one here is a classic black watch style. It's really nice, so it's got those lovely blues and greens in it, so you can see that one side is just a bit more matte than the other, and that's the side that's got the wax on it, which doesn't make it waterproof. Waterproof's quite a strong term. It's really, technically it's like water resistant or water repellent, but you can see there when I splash the water on that it just sort of sits in droplets on the top. So there's that one, and then also this other one which is very kind of classic and country looking to me. So again, some really lovely blues and greens nudes, and then beiges and browns in that one as well. It's gorgeous, really fun. So yeah, we've got both of them in, and then yeah, the navy and the khaki are back in stock as well. So I hope you have enjoyed looking through all of those fabrics and it's given you lots of inspiration. What I'll do, as always, is I make a blog post that goes along with this video, and I link all of the fabrics that I mention in the video in that blog post. So it means that if you're looking for a fabric in particular and you're struggling to find it on the website, you can just go to the blog post and sort of scroll down, and you know that you'll find it there. But everything's always in the just arrived section anyway, and do keep an eye on that area of the website for new things that are coming in. We are just expecting deliveries ongoing of new things and restocks of things as well. So as I've mentioned a few times, if there's something in particular that you're looking for that is showing us out of stock on the website, do let us know and we will let you know when it is back in stock. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, then just remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on my next videos. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.